What's up YouTube? This is Foxtel Digital coming to you again with Black Girl Stocks, and this is another segment of our top 3 option plays this week where we're just going to go over a few different trades, stock fundamentals, and different strategies that you can do to make it through, okay? So this first one, I want to dial in on bullish signals from MRVL. This is Marvel Technology, and right now it's trading around $66.29. Marvell isn't just any player in the tech sector, okay? So it's one of the top AI chip stocks right now, leading the charge in meeting the higher demand for AI chips. Looking at the daily chart up here at the top, you can kind of see that Marvell stock is trading right in between our value zone. Okay, so that's in between the 50 and the 20 period moving averages. Okay, so 50 is the white, 20 is the blue. This type of signal is going to be your go-to. Now, MRVL has been trading a pretty strong uptrend, I can say, since about November of 2023 on the daily chart for a significant period of time, definitely since about last November. So this is kind of starting to paint a very promising picture for continued bullish investors. Let's go a little bit deeper into our 4-hour intermediate chart. Now, if you look here, this is an interesting place. So this trade is honestly, it's banking on the idea that this area right here around this 66, you can kind of see we have some support there from early February. So I'm wondering, you know, are we going to use this area as a support again and continue moving back upwards? Moving in just a little bit closer, we have strong support here around the 66.50 and strong resistance around 70.71. And this is using the volume profile indicator. And also kind of notice it has a really good normal distribution bell curve. So this is, you know, kind of an indication that if the stock moves back up to this high volume POC around $67 here, we could see the price move up again to this $70 area. So this spot could be a sweet place for buyers. Another thing that I want to look at, the RSI indicator is a little bit lower. So that's something that's interesting. If Marvell, you know, continues to use this zone as a support, we could see its way back up. So if I was going to get into a bullish position on MRVL, I would have my entry set to around $66.60. Even better, honestly, would be 67 because those were, you know, peaks that we had previously on Friday. So seeing the stock move above that would be, you know, a good indication that we could continue moving forward. Okay, so, ooh, this isn't looking too cute, but we'll see. I just like, look how low that CCI value is though. So this could be a buy trigger. We'll see. We will see. Okay, but looking at the actual option contract, I'm going back to our March 15th, and this is going to be, I'm going back to our March 15th calls. And so I'm looking at this $75 call here. So you see the premium is decent, 1.7. It's a little bit higher. The delta is cute, 0.27. It has a very low theta. The only thing I'm not loving is how low this volume is that was traded on Friday. But this may not be one of the most popular stocks, which is understandable. But it does have a high open interest. So that's something that I'm interested in. So that's something that we can do for next week going into Marvell. Next, we are going to take a look at GDX. Honestly, it's an ETF for a lot of companies that invest in mining gold and silver, and we can see right now it's trading around $26.86. Slight raise during after hours. That's a good sign. From a technical analysis perspective, looking at GDX, the first thing I want to talk about is up here at the daily chart. You can kind of see, okay, kind of hard to say whether or not GDX has been in an uptrend, downtrend, side trend. It looks like it's been side trading more than anything. Let's move back to the weekly chart. So looking at the weekly chart, honestly, it's looking like GDX has been in a downtrend, but let's just see where we are with this. The stocks had interesting support zones around this 25, 26, and then we've had, you know, a short-term move back up towards this 250 and 20 period moving averages. Now, one thing to note is, again, this is using the stochastic indicator on the daily chart. We did kind of move downward, so I'm wondering if this would be a good potential buy signal for a short-term movement upward. So I'm really just wondering, with this pattern having so much support in this area and seeing how low our stochastics indicator is, if we could see, you know, a price rise back up to around this 28 area. Now, moving down to the 4-hour chart, still using this volume profile indicator here. This orange line up here, value area high, usually looked at as resistance. Red line, value area low, usually seen as support. And this dotted line, that's where a lot of volumes happen. And a lot of these high volume nodes, a lot of the times they kind of act like a magnet, and the stock tends to return to those areas. So I'm wondering, with us reaching this value area low here around this 25.70, and we had a rebound upward, I'm wondering if we could make a bullish cross of this $27 and around 46 or 27.50 zone. Could the price return to around this 29.30? And then that theory would kind of play with this, this up down, overbought, oversold pattern that we've seen on the daily chart. And we're kind of at a low point there. So this is all just kind of based off of patterns and theories. So for me, if I was going to look to enter a bullish position on GDX, just anticipating it continuing in this pattern and potentially moving back up to this 28 to 30 zone, I would have my entry around $27. And just because those are high peaks from last week and just seeing the stock cross above that with high volume, that would kind of be a good indication that that we're continuing in this little pattern up here. But just kind of keep your eye on GDX. We'll see. Okay, now as far as the actual position, we're still going to be looking at calls. March 15th again. It's pretty much 30 days out, so it's kind of safe for a short-term swing, which is what we're doing with these top 3 option plays. And for this one, I'm looking at the $27 calls, so you can see, oh girl, theta, first of all, no. Premium is really cute. This is under $100. Delta is really cute. We're gonna get about $50 to the dollar change of the stock. Can't really say on a $26 stock how much that's gonna fluctuate. Okay, now I know what you're looking at here. It's giving crickets with the open interest on some of these. The volume's not really giving me too much. So this is the only thing that kind of deterred me from this position. So just kind of be careful with that, with the liquidity. The bid-ask spread looks decent, so I'm not feeling too bad about it. So this is something that we can potentially look at getting into for next week. Okay, now the last stock that I'm going to look into is INTC. This is Intel Corp, and we can see that right now we're trading around $43.51, but okay, definitely had some cute after hour movement, 60 cents. I can dig that. Okay, so as we kind of look into the technical analysis aspect of Intel Corp or INTC, and I kind of see, okay, we had a couple of tech stocks here. I didn't mean to stay in the same sector, but it is what it is. Now, not only does this chart give us interesting possibilities for a bullish continuation, just kind of looking at this daily chart up here and how the actual stock is moving overall, but there's also been recent news developments that further kind of push this narrative for optimism in INTC. Okay, now at the heart of our technical analysis, we always start with the trend, and like I said, looking at this daily chart, we've been trending the 200, the 50, and for the most part the 20 period moving average here on the daily. We had this little bearish breakthrough here on the 21st, so around early July. Another thing to look at, this is a really good support level. We have a high volume node here, so there's around $314 million traded around here. Actually, this seems like it was a previous resistance point back here in November. Had a little bullish breakthrough, and I'm wondering if we use this previous resistance as a new support in a continuation of this strong uptrend of the stock. So this is really interesting to see. Also kind of like to see this bullish cross on the MACD indicator here, but that's not always a guarantee, but it's something to keep a note on. Now, moving down here to our 4-hour chart, favorite, intermediate. Another thing that I really enjoyed seeing was that the stock is around, well, it fell down to our value area low, and it looks like it's trying to move its way back up. We have a lot of volume here, and we also have a lot of volume here around this 47. So I'm wondering, oh, look at that. That was a huge price jump. So what was that on Thursday? It jumped all the way up to 47.20 and fell. So we'll see what happens. Now, another thing, with Intel is going to be the power of positive news. Intel is reportedly in talks to secure over $10 billion in subsidies thanks to the CHIPS Act. This is showing both the government's confidence in Intel and the important role that it plays in the semiconductor position. But for me, if I was going to get into a bullish position on INTC, honestly, I'm gonna have my entry probably around 44.20. What would be even better? It's probably around 44.70, but 44.20 would be cute. We definitely would have crossed above our 50 period moving average here on the short-term chart, and we would have crossed above the super trend indicator. So for me, that would just kind of be a good indication that we could continue in this uptrend, potentially passing this peak that we had up here at $45. So we'll kind of see what happens with that. I don't love seeing the 20 period cross below the 50, but you know, it's a little, yeah, we'll see. So as far as the option position, even looking at this, I love how this looks. Look at that high volume right there. Yes. Okay, so like we said, we're going to stick with our March 15th. I guess that's going to be our go-to for now. And for me, really cute. You're going to love this. Now, this is going to be your preference. We can see here, I was thinking the $44 calls. The premium's not terrible. I don't like that 20-cent difference in between the bid and the ask. Not loving that. Delta's cute, Theta's cute, volume and open interest well over 1,000, extremely cute, and the implied volatility over here is cute. But if you wanted to do something, because the Delta, okay, it's nice, but we can do something really cute down here. Just check this out. Theoretically, if we did this, so let's say if we have a Delta here of almost 50, what you could do is you could get two of these $47 strike prices here, and I mean, you would have a Delta value of around 50, and that would only cost you 120, 140. That would be cheaper than just buying outright this 44 strike price option contract. So you could probably get 2 or 3 of the 47 and really give yourself some room. It's just it doesn't have as much volume. Open interest is still cute. So that's kind of something that you guys can do on your own. But yeah, I think that's what I'm looking at. Maybe this 47. So let me know in the comments below how you guys usually pick your option contracts to stack up. And so when I say stack, like I may buy 4 to 10 contracts at a time just because I like to take profits and limits. Would you usually just go straight for that 44 strike price with the higher premium, higher delta? Or are you more comfortable buying more of these lower price premium, these lower premium strike prices down here around maybe 47 to 48? And honestly, you can just stack that up and just, you know, attempt to stack up that delta value to honestly be more than what it would be if you were just to buy the 44. So let me know in the comments below what you guys would prefer to do. All right, you guys, but that's it for this video. So if you found it helpful, entertaining, exciting, all of that, just make sure you click that thumbs up button for me. It really helps the channel. Also subscribe and click that notification bell so that you get notified anytime I upload a new video for you guys. All right, and if you haven't yet, please make sure you check out this video on all of the categories of the trading indicators. Okay, so there's 4 main categories that you're gonna see, and knowing what each one of these categories is really for is gonna help your trades so much. Okay, so make sure check out that video where we talk about the 4 different categories of trading indicators and which ones you can pick and choose. Okay, so check that out. I'll catch you on the next one.